I found this recipe amongst a bunch of recipes I've had for years, and at some stage I must have torn it out of a magazine. It's dated 2015. It's a favourite recipe from a reader, and it's called Old English Matrimonials, but I like to call it Marry Me Sliced because it's that good. It's really easy to make and it converts beautifully to gluten-free, and this is how you do it. So the first thing to do is to sift 1.5 cups of self-raising flour into a bowl. If you don't have self-raising flour, just put 1.5 cups of plain flour plus 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I'll put the gram measurements in the recipe on the website. You'll need 180 grams of butter, and just cut that into a small dice, so nice cold butter. And you'll need to preheat your oven to 180 degrees with a fan or 200 degrees without a fan. And then rub the butter into the flour mixture, squashing it together with your fingertips. And the reason that they say to use your fingertips is that they're the coldest part of your hands. Sometimes I get frustrated and use my whole fingers like that. This is the most time-consuming part, but well worth it. So just try and coat all the flour with the butter. And then add 1 cup of desiccated coconut, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of rolled oats, and give that a really good stir. And I find the best way to do this is just use your hands. And the mixture will sort of clump together a little bit, but it is a dry mixture and it's meant to be like that. There's no liquid in it, just the butter, and this is what makes it so delicious. But if you squeeze it, it'll stick together. Now the recipe calls for a 20 centimetre square tin, but you don't have to use a square tin. At work, I usually double the recipe and use a rectangular tin, and it works beautiful. Just line it, and then I just do a little bit of cooking spray and some baking paper. And before I put the mixture in, the recipe calls for 3/4 cup of raspberry jam. What it suggests to do is warm it up in the microwave or in a little pot just to loosen it up a little bit. So I'll pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. And 30 seconds is usually enough just to make it spreadable. And just loosen it up a little bit. Then get the tray and put half of this mixture in the tray. And press it down until it's nice and compact. Then get the jam and put that all over the slice. And you can use any jam. Blueberry's nice, or strawberry. And then we just get the remaining half of the mixture and just sprinkle it this time over the top. No need to press it down. Now this goes in the preheated oven for 30 minutes. And today I'm going to try a version as well using almond meal instead of the flour, just to see how that goes. So 1.5 cups of almond meal, and because there's no rising agent in there, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm really curious to know how the almond meal will work. What I am noticing is that the almond meal is a lot more moist than flour, so it's actually clumping together really a lot, which will be interesting to see what the finished product's like. And all the other ingredients the same: 1/2 cup of rolled oats, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 1 cup of desiccated coconut. And this one, I've got some blueberry jam from IKEA because we've visited there so many times, that I'll just warm up in the microwave just to loosen slightly. Maybe that's a little bit more than 3/4 of a cup. And the jam on top. And then the rest of the mixture just sprinkled on top. Right, that one will go in when the other one comes out. So I'll take out this beautiful one and I'll put in the almond meal version. Oh, that smells so good. So what I do now is just leave it for about 10 minutes and then I'm going to cut it while it's still warm and leave it to completely cool in the tray. So it's been cooling for about 15 minutes. The tin's still warm and this is when you want to slice it. The recipe says it makes 16, but I prefer to go to 12. I'd really cut that bad. Oh well. And now I'm going to let that completely cool for a good hour or two. So I did notice that the almond meal one was browning a little bit quicker than the regular flour one. So I took it out of the oven, so that was in the oven for 26 minutes. The almond meal one's been cooling for about 15 minutes and I'm just going to slice it and hopefully slice it a bit better than I did the previous one. That looks more even. I'll wait till that cools down. So I put it in the fridge for half an hour because Mike wants a bit and I'm losing light. All I do now is remove it from the tin, paper and all. I cut it where I made the original cuts, which on this one weren't that even. And Mike just loves whipped cream. Now I'm going to go and give him that one and then I'll cut up the almond meal one. Oh, that's beautiful. What do you think? So good, right? This has got IKEA jam and it's made with almond meal. Do you want some cream?
Of course.
Did I put too much jam on this one? Yeah. So
Well,
don't put too much jam.
Don't.
Don't overdo the jam.
But still cool. Very good.
Very good. Do you want another one of the other ones?
Yeah.
So Mike's just had 4. You need a bit of what?
Cream of the other one.
Oh. These are so good. Please try them. You won't be disappointed. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. And this is the one with the almond meal. And it tastes delicious, but I did notice that it was softer. Mike loves them so much. It was actually the first time I've ever cooked them for him yesterday. I usually make them at work and I hadn't tried them neither because I don't usually make them gluten-free. But I did and they taste so good and they work wonderful. I started making it at work and everyone loves it. And one young lady in particular visited the workplace and she had a slice of this and told me how wonderful it was and if she could please have the recipe to make it for her husband. So I took her email address and I lost it. So this is why I'm making this video today. I gave her the link to my channel when I met her.